So let's dive right in. The first thing that you should consider when picking an evening gown is what system you're competing in. This may not seem like a big deal, but the systems vary so much that it is really, really important to know what you're competing for and to understand what that system is looking for in a winner.
I completely agree. We were talking earlier about, what can you liken this to? You can liken it to any other award show. Like what you would wear to the MTV Music Awards would be a little different than what you would wear to the Grammys. They're both music award shows, but they cater to a completely different audience and they value completely different things.
I totally agree. I mean, and the thing is there's so many fantastic pageant systems out there right now, but they are very, very different. You have some that are very classic, some that are very conservative, some that are modern, and some that are almost like high fashion model competitions more than traditional beauty pageants as people know them. So really understanding and doing your research. I mean, we have a whole video on how to pick the perfect system for you. But once you have, you really need to make sure that you are getting a sense of what the pageant stands for and what they want to see on stage, because that'll help you pick the right gown for the pageant.
Yeah, I mean, and even if you aren't competing in the two big systems, there are so many pageants now that are getting live streamed. So it's really easy to do your research, to log on while a pageant is going on, and really see what the trends are, what the styles are, and make your choice from there.
Same thing with ordering DVDs from the website, or if there's YouTube clips, viewing it, but really just trying to get some insight. It's also important. My favorite way, I think, to get a clue of the tone of the system or the tone of the evening gown competition is having an ear for what kind of music they play. If they're playing Kanye West or Fergie, Miss USA played Fergie Glamorous, which is glamorous, but it's still like an R&B, hip-hop kind of fun song, something you might hear at a club. If they're playing a song that is with that pace, then you can probably get away with something a little more risky, a little more modern, youthful, kind of hip, versus other pageants that will play classical music or something that is lyrical and not really mainstream. I mean, having an ear for what they're playing as the background music, what you're going to be walking to, will set the tone for what you're walking in.
I have never even thought of that. When we were watching Miss America this year, they played Coldplay's Paradise, and that is like one of my favorite songs right now. And it's a slower pace, and if you wore an evening gown with the cutouts and gold detail with the chains and something that was like really pushing the envelope, it just wouldn't fit. And you really want to look like you fit on stage and on that particular stage that you're competing in.
You make a great point about the cuts, and we'll go into this in a little bit later, but when thinking about, again, the system and the pace and the music, there's a lot of dresses that they're kind of flowy and they look best when they catch air. And what I mean by that is if you have a really fast strut and the chiffon is kind of flowing out from behind you, those are when those gowns look amazing, or when you can play with the ends. Again, we'll talk about this more, but that goes back to if you have a pageant system where it's the slower music, you have the longer time on stage, you're not really supposed to strut through it, you're supposed to kind of glide slowly, then those kind of gowns aren't going to work so well because they're not going to pick up the air. They're not designed for something that is slower and I don't want to say elegant, but almost a little more elegant and softer than some of the other ones that are take it like a runway and strut on down.
Yeah, and that's when you see girls, flying their little dresses. You know what I'm talking about?
When someone takes Right. Again, this is all stuff we'll
I don't know what the
into.
appropriate term is, but you know what I'm talking about.
Right. You guys know what we're talking about. The gowns that have the chiffon ends, they're flowy.
Yeah.
They're meant to, we'll get into this in cuts, but it all goes back to the first thing first, know your system. And Nicole and I, we've competed in a couple different systems. We've gone from USA, you've gone United States.
Yeah.
We are currently picking gowns for international. And I can tell you right now, this is definitely something that is at the top of our list when we're looking for gowns. Just yesterday, I was looking on the website and I was like, hey, if this was Miss USA, I would totally wear that gown, but it's Miss International, so let's look over here. Have to be aware of the system and take it from there.
Absolutely. Again, this is a job interview, and you want to be able to represent all of the things that system stands for.
Right. So look at appearances, look at past competitions, look what the winners are doing, where they're going, how the system is representing itself. Then you'll get a better idea of how you should represent yourself in an evening gown on stage. Okay guys, that's it for this training video. We really hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, that's awesome because we have so much more great pageant instructional content just waiting for you. In fact, we put together an awesome training course called The Secrets to Mastering Your Onstage Question. Now the best thing about this course is it's not only going to show you how to master your onstage question, but it's also going to show you how to really step up your game during the interview portion of your competition. And we all know how important interview is, right? Now here's the good news, is getting this training course is super simple and completely free. But you do have to be part of our exclusive email subscriber list, so you have to make sure to sign up. Now if you're watching this on YouTube, all you have to do is click the hyperlink below this video and it's going to take you back to our website where you can enter in your email address and get immediate access to the course. If you're watching this video on another site, make sure to go back to pageantprofessors.com and you'll be able to opt in right from the homepage. Now, as always, we value your privacy, so you don't have to worry about us selling your email address or spamming you. All we're going to do is make sure that we're giving you the latest updates on the greatest pageant instruction that we have. So go ahead, sign up, and I'll see you on the other side.